Well, hello, good morning, good evening, good morning in Asia. Robert Heffernan with EndoTech. This is Blockchain Vitals, our daily show talking cryptocurrencies. I am a master endotechnician in the matrix. Zeros and ones floating down. And cryptos, you know, we're going to talk about what I talked about last night because I like to toot my horn like anybody else does every once in a while when you get it right. But first, let's do the rounds, because we do it every day. Doing the rounds is my chance to talk about a headline or something that I've seen. And tonight's was this one. I love this one. 3 bearish factors that will slaughter this Bitcoin price rally. I love an argument that, you know, first of all, I don't love the argument. All right, let me be clear on that. But I love an argument that describes why this Bitcoin rally is going to get slaughtered, but doesn't give you a sell point, a profit target, and a risk level. You know, that is not trading, all right, and that is not prognosticating on trading. But I wanted to dig in a little bit deeper, all right, and talk about their 3 bearish factors. Number one, they're talking about this latest rally being a low volume rally. And I love this story because although I do think volume is important and high volume areas are very important to keep track of and pay attention to, my problem is that in the crypto environment, there is so much bullshit volume that it's really hard for volume to be the indicator because you can't trust anything anybody's saying from a volume point of view. And at least that's what we found anyway, that volume isn't as, you know, believe me, I believe in volume. I've been in trading pits my whole life, and I understand when volume comes in, and I understand high volume traders. You know, markets pay attention to volume. But in this case, and in this asset class, there's so much smoke and mirrors with volume that it's, who do you trust? Who do you trust on what volume is being printed? I mean, there was an article, you know, yesterday on how ridiculous some of these volume stats are, and you can't trust any of it. So for this article, point number one, throw it out the window. The second point of the article, and I love this one, was that the $4,200 area in Bitcoin has been rejected 6 times, it says. Well, I went back and looked at the chart. I just don't see the 6 times. I see possibly 3 times up to that $4,200 area. And that, yeah, it did fall away from that area. But for me, there's so many more things that go on in my analysis. How about this time up, we have a completely different set of circumstances, specifically involving the momentum modeling and how we're approaching this level from a momentum standpoint. It's a completely different makeup. It's like saying, you know, the last time here or last year we were here, it's not the same. There's so many other things that have gone into this thing. Just because the area was rejected before does not mean that it's going to get rejected again. There's a lot of other, you know, things going on. And for me, the most important is the momentum modeling. All right. And lastly, they're talking about a descending trend line that has not been violated yet. And that's what I have. I got to tell you, man, I have a real problem with trend lines because everybody draws them different. You know, and you could say this trend line from Bitcoin hasn't been violated yet. Well, which one are you drawing and to where? And why is your trend line more important than my trend line? You know, I don't know. I just think it's arbitrary. And then I love it when a trend line holds and they're like, yeah, see, my trend line held. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it held this time, but I have a real problem with trend lines. I think I've said that before. Anyway, we're gonna go to the chart and I'm gonna show you what I mean on that. But before we go do that, I wanted to bring up something that I said last night. Let's see if I can find this in the archives.
It's on that weekly chart, though.
Oh, that's me
the
talking.
2 ones that I really like, though, the 2 best setups, I think, potentiality-wise, are EOS and ADA.
Oh, that's maybe me.
And I know ADA's numbers on the sheet are a little suspect. But let's talk about it first, and we'll come back to Litecoin. ADA right now, UPMO is at 0.0599, 0.06, let's call it. Right now, ADA trading 0.0610. And it's just got a really nice upward slope, a great trend that this thing has been in since about the 0440 level. And great extension on the weekly, in up momentum on the weekly is ADA. That level's 0520. And it just looks, you know, it's acting the best. It's in the best territory as far as the weekly is concerned. It and BNB also in that same category. Stretching and reaching on both dailies and weeklies. So I really like the setup of this coin. But the caveat here, though, is if the majors melt down, I'm not sure how well any of these things can hold on. And EOS, like we talked about, trading 383. EOS trading 383. And that weekly low or weekly up momentum level in EOS was 365. They dabbled around there. They couldn't hold very long, very much price action below that level. Extended off of it now, and now trading healthy here at 383. Back in UPMO on the daily. Room out to 393 on the daily to the collar, and room out to 477 on the weekly. So a lot of room. And for me, respecting that up momentum level on the weekly is very key for me for EOS.
All right. That's what I said. That was last night. And spot on with the two strongest ones from today. Today's action, ADA and EOS. And I was giving you a little arbitrage hand signals there. Remember, hands are towards you. You're buying it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Single digits here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now you know how to do arbitrage. And if you ever have a chance to work on a trading floor, there you go. You had your tutorial. Hey, open your eyes. All right, listen, let's take the vitals and talk about today's price action. All right, taking the vitals. It's my chance every day to talk about the actual price discovery that is happening in the market. And as I've said before, the price discovery is all of the information available. It's in the price. That's just what we live and breathe at EndoTech. We've been around these things for too long to think that anything else could be true. All actionable information it's reflected in the price. It has to be. I'm not going to say any more about that. That's just the way it is. Anyway, this week I'm covering Zcash. I'm involved in Zcash. 57.47 last in Zcash. 57.47 last. And just trying to climb back into up momentum, kind of following a little bit laggardly with some of the strength in the asset class. But for me, you know, I like it. I think we climb back into up momentum, and I think we ultimately target the monthly lower momentum level that we talked about earlier in the week, 65.25. That's what it looks like to me. It might take all week to get there. Here's the important thing for me too, is the monthly lower momentum level, 65.25, and we're going to roll a new month, right? We're going to roll a new month, and that's going to, I'm telling you, the way this the potentiality on this band looks like it's going to get very reactive. And I think that we could possibly open out of lower momentum, even if we just close where we are on that monthly fractal at the end of the week. Other thing I'm noticing here, too, is on that monthly chart, we got a major doji formation on the monthly showing up. And I talked about this on Sunday night, that, you know, we got a doji and we got a possibility of taking out a monthly lower momentum level on that monthly fractal. You know what? Those are both very encouraging signs for further price discovery higher. All right, that's what I'm looking at anyway in Zcash. All right, listen, you need to be an EndoTech subscriber, so please go to endotech.io if you want to watch the complete segment here on a nightly basis or a morning basis or whenever you view the content. But to view it on the endotech.io website in real time, you need to be a subscriber. So please go over to endotech.io and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. And I'm going to say goodbye to the YouTube channel, and we're going to continue with the rest of the broadcast.